United 175, New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here, two of them.
I just witnessed a plane that appeared to be cruising slightly lower than normal altitude over New York City, and it appears to have crashed into, I don't know which tower it is, but it hit directly in the middle of one of the World Trade Center towers.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school, so like many people that remember that day, I can remember it very well, remember it vividly. Sitting in English class and just hearing the news, and at first just thinking it was a terrible accident or a tragedy.
I remember 9/11 very clearly. I had taken my daughter to the orthodontist for an appointment, and while she was in having her teeth worked on, the TV was on in the waiting room, and we began to see what was happening.
I was in 3rd grade. I was 8 years old. I heard about it because my mom told me when she picked me up from school.
I was driving in my car on my way to get my lawnmower fixed, and I was listening to NPR on the radio and heard that a plane had hit the World Trade Center, and at first there was all kinds of speculation, well, maybe it was an accident or something, and by the time I got there, a second plane had hit the World Trade Center, and at that point we knew that this was not an accident.
It seemed so unrealistic. It just didn't seem like it was real, that this was really happening to us, especially when we realized that it wasn't an accident, it was a terrorist attack.
It wasn't really until I started seeing, went home and was seeing the footage on the news that I was starting to understand the scope of what was happening.
Our world changed. We had some kind of an idea that we were protected. We were Americans. Things like this didn't happen on our soil. And so all of us were shaken up. The security, or the false security that we had, was gone.
In the weeks following the attack, I remember people pulling together in a way that I've never seen before or since.
There were a lot of really beautiful stories on the news as well of very heroic acts, firefighters, other people who were just nearby and wanted to do something. I remember that trying to be balanced with just all of the horrific news that was coming, because that was, primarily it was just horrible.
I'm just a young kid, high school senior, sitting in English class and government class watching this all unfold. But it really became an event that impacted me deeply. It's just a few years later, I had graduated high school and went to basic training, finished my job training, and then within just a short period of time, my reserve unit was deployed, and so less than 3 years later, I was serving in Afghanistan.
When something so tragic happens like that, it's hard to not just kind of take a step back and look at your priorities in life and look at the things that are important to you. And
people really giving of themselves, putting everything else aside to go serve and be there.
I think all of us had so many models of what it meant to be a hero and what it meant to give up your life for people that you didn't even know.